am keeping my promise, and I am actually making this video that I said that I would make, and that's really exciting of me. So pat on the back after not updating for a month, updating twice in a row. That's pretty good. So this video is about my trip to Venice. So I got on the train with my host mom and my host grandmother and my host mom's friend and my friend Riley, who is an exchange student from Oregon living in Vorarlberg in Dornbirn. And I probably said those names wrong. I think it was like a 4-ish, maybe more hour train ride to Venice, but it was beautiful because Italy is a beautiful country, and South Tyrol is also absolutely gorgeous. So we had the train ride, and cool thing, Riley and I both were in the same German class in our German camp, and we both were at the not so great, kind of good German level, and we spoke German almost the entire trip. Like, we probably spoke English 5 times together when we were late at night or something, but we spoke German almost the entire time, which pat on the back for us. You come out of the train station and you see the big canal, and it was dark and there were just lights bouncing off of the water on the canal and illuminating it, and the people are so vibrant, and the Italian language is beautiful, and the city was just buzzing. Oh my goodness, it was honestly such a dream to be there. And so we walked from the train station to our hotel and checked in there, and then we all met up and went into the city for dinner. And dinner in Italy is absolutely raw. Oh my goodness. I had gnocchi and we drank red wine, which, just so you know, is okay when you're with a host parent. When it's with Rotary, to have 1 glass of wine is acceptable, just so you all know. But yeah, that was a little bit living the Italian dream right there. And then afterwards, Riley and I went into the city a little bit and walked around, saw some different things, ate some absolutely to die for gelato, and then turned in. In the morning, we got up and had a wonderful breakfast. Oh my goodness, I love food in Europe so much, and Italian coffee is it does not get better than Italian coffee. It beats Starbucks, guys. So we went and we were buying public transport tickets, which in most cities would mean you are taking a bus. But in Venice, you are taking a boat through all of the beautiful canals. So to get to the art museum we were going to, we took a boat through the canals and then walked alongside the canal, and oh my goodness, Venice is a beautiful place. So we went to this big art museum called the Biennale. I'm saying that probably absolutely terribly, but it was this big art museum, which was the reason that we went to Venice, and this is my little flyer from it. But I was absolutely in awe there. So just a little brief rundown of what this exhibit was about. Basically, somebody decided that they wanted all of the world's knowledge to come together in one place. And obviously that's not going to happen, but they spent so much time putting this thing together to bring all of the world's knowledge together. And this art exhibit was based off of that concept, that they want to bring all of the world's knowledge together. So when you think about all of the world's knowledge, you might think something like a library or something like that, a museum, but it was this idea that you're bringing the world together. All of the world's knowledge isn't just through science and facts and figures, but it's through the human experience, and that's what they wanted to capture, because that's what really builds our world and creates our history and everything, is the human experience. It's every single person's life and what's important to them contributing and coming together to make this wonderful society and world that we know. So it was incredibly beautiful to walk through this big a huge art museum and see just what people thought was important, what people thought the world should see if the world were to bring the most important factors together. What should the world see? What is included in all of the world's knowledge? And just to see what people brought forward with that idea, this just all-inclusive human experience. It was absolutely beautiful. There were traditional art pieces, and then there were some more modern art pieces. One of my favorites was just this little maze of papers, and papers about this size, and it just had things scrolled across it with black paint, like different drinks that they like, different bands, different, top 40 music in like 1992, and just all of these different things and thoughts and ideas and brainwaves just scrolled across it, and it just seemed like I was being let into somebody's brain. And that's sort of what this whole idea was that you're being let into the mind and the world of somebody else, and it was absolutely beautiful. Another one of my favorites, actually probably one of the coolest things I've ever seen, was done by a Brazilian artist. Well, I'm not sure if they were an artist on purpose, but basically what happened was they said that God came to them in a dream or something along those lines, and God said that they needed to put together a sample of what the world was, because they needed to represent the world through something, so that when the world ends, then they'll have some sort of symbol of the world. And I'm really poorly explaining that, but basically God told them to gather things to represent the world. And so this person was put into mental care, to put into a mental facility, because they were told that they were crazy because they're talking to God, and I guess that's not normal. So they went to this mental facility, and they still had this task to do for God. So this man was a favorite in the hospital, so they gave him a little more freedom, and he put together this beautiful display using, strings from hospital gowns and just garbage that he could find, cleaning supplies, just random things, and he built these beautiful art displays of what he thought that the human legacy was, and what he thought the human experience was. And just seeing that was breathtaking, because when you think about it, like, what would you capture? If you had to capture the world, what would you capture? And seeing what he thought was important, when he thought that was what the world needed to see, that's what the world needed to be represented by. It's what he chose. And the idea that individuals can have such differing ideas, I think that's one of the reasons that I'm on this exchange, is to see how different people see the world, how different people capture the world and perceive the world. It's beautiful, really. So we spent most of the day there, and then we went to this little island that sells lots of glasswork and shopped around, and then we went back to the area our hotel was in, and we shopped around a bit more. It was just an absolute dream. And then we went for dinner, and then spent a little time in the city at night, again just browsing around and taking in what we could of the culture. Oh my goodness, I love Venice. And then in the morning we had another wonderful Italian breakfast, and then we headed out to go a little bit more shopping, and the Sunday was actually so fun. Riley and I went off into the city alone. First we went and got some coffee. We got espresso out like on the side of the main canal in this little cafe, and it was just a little dream. And then for whatever reason I decided that I wanted to put my feet in the canal even though it was like really cold. So I went and I put my feet in the canal, and then I threw a coin in and made a wish, and it was my wonderful, beautiful Lizzie McGuire movie Italian moment. That was what dreams are made of. So yeah, I love Italy a whole lot, and I cannot wait until I go back. I'll be back there for a Euro tour, and maybe sooner. We'll see how things go. I have actually been living a pretty normal life here too, so I'll update y'all on that pretty soon. Stay awesome.